Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman, Wargamer. It's an open the box for not a Wargame Wednesday, and it's an unboxing of a game I've just received from Awaken Realms after their successful GameFound campaign, and the game is Stalker, the board game, a game by Paweł Samborski, and as I say, published by Awaken Realms and Game World. This is a huge and heavy box, so let's see what this is all about. Immerse yourself in the perilous world of Stalker, the board game, a cooperative adventure for 1 to 4 players based on the widely acclaimed Stalker video game series. As a stalker, an intrepid mix of adventurer and bounty hunter, players navigate the treacherous zone surrounding the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, face lethal mutants, enigmatic anomalies, and daunting challenges, while executing missions across 2 captivating stories and various missions in zone survival mode. The game's dynamic blend of stealth and combat tactics invites multiple approaches to objectives, ensuring that each playthrough is a unique experience. So this is what it sort of looks like on the board. Looks amazing. In the box, I'll just let you pause the video if you wish to see what's in the box, but it's a ton of stuff. 1 to 4 players, and playtime, they reckon, between 120 and 180 minutes. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off, so let's open this huge, heavy box. So on top of the box, we've got the rulebook and other bits and pieces. So let's have a look at all that first. Well, one thing I forgot to mention, which I thought was quite nice, is we got a little letter from Awaken Realms, just thanking us for backing it, which I thought was very nice. So here's the rule book. It's quite large, 44 pages, and we'll go quickly through this. So we've got table of contents, bit of backstory and the credits. What's in the box? As you can see, a ton of stuff. And structure of the rule book, starting a campaign. This is the main thing of this game, is the campaign. You're going to do some missions to complete your campaign, although you can do one-off missions that aren't in the campaign. If you just want a quick game in the zone survival expansion that's included in the core box. So it tells you we're going to do a zone exploration, then a mission setup, mission map, and playing the mission. This is all explained in more detail in the following pages. Lots of pictures, which is good. The mission map. Map radiation, yes. Range and line of sight. Environmental cards. Tokens that you can collect. And then playing the mission, how that's broken down. The event phase, then the player phase, and what you can do in those. And the actions you can take. Loving the artwork. You've got your own radiation Geiger counter there. keep track of how much radiation you are getting. Your PDA, which is like the player board. So a lot of stuff in this game. Weapons, stalkers attacking, enemy wounds, status tokens on the player board, enemies and zone phase, and the different types of enemies you're going to get, mutants and the like. Enemy movement, how they do that, how they attack, radiation exposure and how to get rid of that. Anomalies. These, I believe, have artifacts with them which, although not part of the mission, can be very useful. Yeah, retrieving artifacts from those anomalies. It uses these sort of templates, which we'll have a look at. So not sure how this all works, but looking very interesting. Single stalker mode, you can just have one stalker. I think they recommend 2 or more. You can play double-handed, like most cooperative games. But if you want to just use a single stalker, you have to put this template over the turn part of your player board. Lost territories. Ooh. Entities comparison table. And the icon glossary. Lots of icons in this game. It's so big, this rule book. I'm sorry if I've cut off a bit of it videoing. And standees, what the standees are. Now, I only got the standee version of the game. I didn't go for any of the miniatures for these enemies and anomalies, but this is the first wave that I've just received. There is going to be a second wave with things like the stretch goals and what have you, and I believe they're going to open the pledge manager again, and I may well get those miniatures. I'm a sucker for them. There we are, and an index and a quick rules reference at the back. There we are. Them's the rules. Next up, we've got this campaign binder, which we're going to keep everything we need for our campaign. We've got these 2 helpful sheets. We've got zone navigation and contacts, going on a mission, and post-mission cleanup. So these will be attached into this folder. We've got a card holder to hold the cards we're using in the campaign, and this, I believe, is our stash bag where we can put things we're using, and also if we want to stop the game and come back at a later time, we can put everything that we're using in here so we know exactly where we're up to. So that looks interesting. Next up, we've got this gameplay example. It's not like some other board games where they say, read this first and have a little go through the game. No, this is a gameplay example, but they've assumed you've read all the rules, and this is a tutorial for a simple single stalker scenario. It sort of walks you through it. So we'll have a quick look through this. Got the first round. It seems to be giving you every sort of thing that could happen. The second round. And there we are. So that looks like that's going to be useful. Next, we've got the mission guide, and I won't go through this in any detail because I don't want to, spoil anything. But the first mission you'll probably do is this rescuing Dalek. So we've got a prologue and the mission summary here, how to set up the map, and then we're into the second one. And on the back, we've got this script book, which I assume you're going to be told to look up certain things. There we are. Again, I'll leave that for you to find out all about. That's the mission guide. And here is that zone survival sort of expansion included in the core game, which will allow you to do one-off missions rather than the whole campaign. So this looks like a great thing to include. We've got lots of stuff in the box for this expansion, this zone survival, and here are the rules specific for it. Tells you what to do. Choose a scenario, draw and arrange a map. So you can randomize those if you don't want to choose them. So lots of replayability, it looks like. Find and place special cards and tokens. Draw and place your setup cards and any tokens that are with those cards. Anomalies, you'll place unknown tokens, and enemies will be drawn and placed. Loot tokens, and then prepare the event deck. Choose who you're playing with and what equipment they've got. Get them on the board and play. And these are the scenarios. So don't really want to give too much away, but you've got lots of different things: elimination, manhunt, escape, and all that sort of malarkey. Frontal assault. We've got a script book as well, which I won't give you too much info on. But again, I assume you look up these numbers. So again, lots of replayability. That's the rules and scripts. And here for the zone survival expansion, we've got the map book. I don't think there's too much of a problem showing you these because you can choose or randomly pick one of these. So you've got the Agro-Prom Labs, Wetlands Encampment, Overgrown Warehouse and Guard Post Enclave, Urban Precinct, Prior Piat Outskirts, Meadow Village, the Rescue Site, the Rostock Barrack Grounds, Red Forest Chapel. There we are. So plenty to be getting on with there. And then there's a big brick of cardboard. Sorry for the glare, because it's wrapped in sort of cling film. So let's get that off and have a quick look at those. Here's the first one. Great quality to these. Nice thick card, and they're popping out very easily. So these are the rooms. Here are some of the standees. It's double-sided, so we've got different room here. Here's the next one. I think we have to assemble these Geiger counters, some more enemies and sort of mutants there. A couple of rooms. Again, different on the other side. On here, looks like we've got some anomalies. A different room. Oh, that looks interesting. And the other side, you see what I mean? They're coming out, which is great. There's the other side of that room, if I can fit it back in for now. There we are. Again, I have no real idea what all these tokens are. So Looking forward to finding out. But another room there. And oh, these are hidden tokens maybe. Here's another part of the Geiger counter. Lead Stalker marker. And a nice big room there. Loads of this. There's a big room and another room there. What's this? Advanced container. Looks like another anomaly. Are these hit points? Not sure. Don't quote me. Oh, improved container. And if you can see those little spidery things, look a bit scary. These are going to pop out if I'm not careful. There we go. They so want to jump out and play. 2 big rooms on that one. Let's see if we can. Yes, we can. There we go. That's the other side. More enemies here by the looks of it. And incidentally, there's nothing on the back of these standees because they do have a facing. They have a front, back and sides, all to do with how they shoot. Although this is different. These are the bolts, yep. I think these are to do with the turns on your player boards. Don't like the sound of that. Critical injury. And I assume this is the revealed side of some tokens. Yeah, question marks. This is a bit different, this one. Some more of those Geiger counter things and enemies. These are to do with the enemy clans. Could be wrong, because different clans, I think, not only will fight you, but they will fight each other. Some more Geiger stuff. And enemies. Not much on this side, I would have thought. There we are. Great quality as well. That looks weird. Magnet center, I think that says. Remember, some of these may well be just for the zone survival expansion. Maybe they are interchangeable. We'll find out. Still, we've got a few more of these. These, I think, are just terrain items. Whatever that is. Oh, it's a helper. That's handy, telling you what they are. Some more here. Again, with their explanations on the back, which is always very helpful. And the last one. This room. Help! And it is called help. That's it. That's all the card. Next, we've got this sealed. I think these are the Anomaly Templates. Whoops, sorry about the glare. Let's see if we can get this open. They probably all pop out, but we can have a better look if we get it out of this wrapping. So yeah, 2 of those sheets were in that sort of wrapping. They're going to be very hard to see as they're see-through, but I'll do my best. So let's move that one out the way. Concentrate on this. These, I believe, you use when the anomalies are around. A bit darker over this side of the table. So here's where I think the anomaly goes, and that's its sort of influence that spreads out. And depending how near you get, depends what symbol. I think you have to throw on a special die. So crazy. Yep, silly me. I just realized I had these overlays showing you the wrong side. This is the proper side, and you can see the different colors on the different symbols. So apologies for that. Next thing in the box is this map. Now this is the campaign map, I understand, and you will sort of cross off places you visit, and also when you are told, you will stick these stickers where they tell you to. So it is a sort of legacy game, and you're saying, Ruff, what happens when you finish? Is that it? You can't play it again? No, they've given you 3 more copies for you to play. And just to make sure, I also ordered another 3 copies when I did my pledge. So that'll keep me going for a while. Okay, we're only just into the top bit of the box. But before we look and see what's next, there's something I wanted to show you. Nearly forgot. And that's the neoprene mats. In the pack, you get 4 individual player mats for you to keep all your stuff tidy, and these look great, and they're stitched along the edge, so they're nice quality. But you also get this main mat to keep everything to do with the game itself. So pleased I got these. Right, back to the box. So in the next layer, looks like we've got these PDA player boards, 1 for each player. Let's get this out of the way for a moment and have a proper look. These are really good quality, doubled. We've got, I think that's your health points along the top there, artifacts. That thing we saw that I said goes on the player board will move down to show you how your turn is progressing, I believe. Pockets to keep odds and ends in. The Stalker you choose go there. The amount of ammo, the weapons and any attachments, and your armor and any attachments. And as I say, you've got 4 of those, each with a different color top, which will coordinate with the rings you're going to put round the only minis in this game, which are the Stalkers themselves, so you know which Stalker you're controlling. In the next layer, we've got a load of cards, and I think these are the mission packs, but first let's show you this. It's just an empty container, I think, to put things maybe like cards and tokens and whatnot, so that's handy. Right, let's have a look at this one. Well, actually, I've taken that one out you just saw and the one below because the remaining one is a bit big and was a bit awkward to get out, so I thought we'd get these 2 out first. We've got 5 minis. We've got the Stalkers, and these are rather nice. And here you can see, I think this tells you that this is the front of the miniature for things like firing. Always got a bit of a bent gun there. I had to just bend his gun slightly, hence the edit. But yes, very good looking sculpts, as they say. I assume these correspond to these. I've got a feeling there's more of these than these. So if you pick another character that isn't represented by one of these miniatures, you'll just have to pretend, unless there's any in this sort of miniature packs, which I'm thinking of getting. Yeah, they're looking good. What's he got hold of? He's got a head of a mutant by the looks of it. Then lastly, I think this is a companion, and everybody loves companion. Again, spaces for bits and pieces, and here are those rings you're going to put round the models to correspond with the top of the player board, so you know which miniature, in case you pick one of the ones that doesn't represent these, you know who's who. And then we've got bags. These are ammo clips. Sorry about the glare, but it is a very dark and dingy day over in merry old England, so apologies. And I don't want to get them out yet because they're going to go everywhere. But I think that shotgun, that looks like maybe sort of a pistol and machine gun. And over here we've got some extra counters, whatever they are, and this, I can't remember, it's in the rule book. It's called an enemy facing sticker sheet. I don't know if you stick those on the standees to show which bit is front, but that's there. And then we've got our, is this an extra Stalker? Yeah, I think this might be an extra Stalker. Not sure if it's a Kickstartery thing or whatever, but that's there. Here we've got some stands. These little cubes to measure things like health and ammo, I believe. Some bigger stands for bigger standees. Some different coloured cubes. I think these are all used on the player boards. Oh, this is the weird dice that you throw for the anomalies, I think. Remember those little shapes you had? That's there. We've got 2 lots of dice. I think these are the Stalker dice, and these are the equipment dice, according to the rule book. And then we've got these little clip things, which are going to help us put the Geiger counters together, and maybe used in that campaign folder. Who knows? But that's everything in those 2. And here's the last load of stuff in that huge box. It's got all the cards, and these are the mission packs, or mission boxes as they call them. So the first one looks like it's rescuing Dalek, as we saw in that mission book. I'm not going to open any because it's a bit of a spoiler, but if I do a playthrough, of course there will be spoilers, but you might not want to watch the playthrough so you don't get the spoiler, if that makes sense. But what I quite like as well, it's got the name of the mission there, and then when you've done it, you turn it over and it says mission completed, so you know what you're doing. So that's the 6 missions, and then we've got tons and tons of cards. What's this? I'm not sure. Oh, this is for the solo Stalker. You use these on your player mat. Let's have a quick look through what all these cards are. So the big cards, we've got the Stalkers, and yes, there are 12. So I'm not sure if any of the miniature packs have miniatures representing the ones that aren't in the core box. So 12 of those, which is great. And a bit of background knowledge on the other side. Again, I'm trying not to spoil too much in case you don't want any spoilage. We've got an enemy pack, and I'm not sure, but that might mean the difficulty level because it goes from 1 to 2 to 3. So here, I think that's how far you can get. That's your sort of range. If you're facing this bandit, you can be 3 squares away, but if you come from the side, you can get up to 1, or be sneaky and attack from behind. You can get right up close. So all their stats, again, not too sure what this all means, but we've got a few different enemies here. That don't look nice, does it? Great artwork, by the way. Loving the artwork. So that's the enemy deck, but there was also this on its own. Not sure. We've got the Bloodsucker visible and the Bloodsucker hidden. A deck of random events. Again, won't show them all, just give you an idea. So lots of stuff. It looks like the instant and then what happens at the end of the round. So that's that. And then we've got some help cards, some little player aids to help you with your game. There's 4 of those, 1 for each player, because we can play up to 4, remember. And on the other side, game round order. So that's blooming handy. And one of these tokens on the map, telling you what each one is, status tokens and tokens on the map. And then there's one for the zone survival game round order. So that's handy. Oh, look, there's money. So we can buy stuff. Cool. Next up, we've got the mini cards. Here's some that says unique loot. Looks like they're from the zone survival expansion. So I won't show you too many of them in case they are spoilers, but soul, lucky. There we are. A nice amount of items. Again, I'll just go through a couple of them. Anti-red pills, bread, tourist delight. Not Turkish delight. And enemy wounds. I think you pick one of these. It tells you the fate of that enemy. Loads of different ones there. And we've got some attachments. Again, we've got numerals there, Roman numerals. Might mean that you've got to have a level 1 before you can have a level 2 or something like that. But again, we'll have a quick look at a few of those. So echo detector, and the cost is here. Red dot sight, laser sight. So yeah, lots of good stuff to kill those enemies. We've got those artifacts that are supposed to be really good. I think that's how much radiation exposure you get when you carry this around. So that looks cool. And lastly, we've got the armor again with these Roman numerals, so you might have to buy them in order. A leather jacket, cost there again. There we are. And still more cards. We've got setup cards. Again, not sure what these are for, but there's a ton of them, probably setting up the maps, I don't know. Character, stranger. So won't do too much of spoiler, but there we are. And some special cards. Locked door, exit, chase, and busy are examples of those. There is a huge deck of event cards, which indicates to me that there's going to be fantastic replayability, even though it's a sort of legacy game. Is this a different? No, it's an event card. So loads of those. Good to see. We've got some anomaly cards. I was explaining all the traits of those anomalies. We've got 2 lots of enemy activation. There's the other type. We'll just have a quick look through, give you an idea what's going on here. We've got contact cards. Not sure if that's to do with the mission. There we are, some contacts, traders to get stuff off of. And then there are these, double-sided. I suppose you can have these as companions. Right. And the last load of cards, we've got this Lost Territories set up. Loads and loads of those. To do with the back, they're different. So not sure what that's about. We've also got these cards. I believe these are sort of placed over corresponding space on the map. And it looks like it's to do with the Lost Territories because of the L, but don't quote me on that. I think when you land on one of these spaces, I think you turn it over and see what happens. Then lastly, you've got to have your weapons. So loads of different types. So accuracy range, maximum range, how much ammo you get. I'm going to do a single shot or go bonkers. A goodly amount there for you to buy. That is everything in the box. Crikey. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing for not a Wargame Wednesday, a behemoth of stuff in Awaken Realms' brand new game, Stalker, the board game. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful. If you did and you haven't done so already, it would be great if you would consider subscribing to the channel, because as my name implies, I do mainly war games, but every so often something like this will crop up and playthroughs as well. So have a think about subscribing so you can catch that other content. And you can make sure when I do post content that you are notified by pushing the bell. But make sure you push all notifications. As always, I encourage you to leave a comment. I know people have been receiving this over the last couple of weeks, but here in merry old England, we've only just started receiving them. I think now I regret not getting the miniatures, although the standees will do a good job. But if they do open the pledge manager again when the second wave is about to hit, I may well push the button on those. But let me know what you think, because I love to read them. Thanks, as always, to my subscribers. Thank you so much. And just before I go, if you wish to support the little channel a bit further, you can buy the channel a coffee, or if you wish, you can push the super thanks button that's underneath the video. I think it's hidden within those little 3 dots at the bottom right hand part of the video. But if you decide to do one of those, the channel thanks you, because all those little donations really do help the channel to keep ticking along. Right, that's going to take a bit of a think to see how we can get it all back in the box once it's punched and sleeved. I think it might be a bit of a problem, but I'll let you know how I get on. And I hope you can join me for the next video. So until then, as always, you take care and goodbye.